What's up, Hidden fam? It's your boy Tony, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about everybody's favorite brand of the year, Chrome Hearts. So as you guys know, Chrome Hearts is a pretty big label, and with that, any big brand gets its fair share of reps, fakes, whatever you want to call it. So I want to share with you guys some stuff that we have in store and kind of point out certain details that helps us here at Hid.n identify what makes an item legitimate, right? What separates it from a knockoff you might find on a website such as Taobao and so forth. And I know a lot of people are shopping secondhand for Chrome, so I feel this is probably some good information to just know. And I hope it can be a bit helpful for you guys. So starting off, hats. So we have here, this is called the Cemetery Cross Trucker. The crosses they use on these hats are the same format, same shape, basically same everything that you would find on the popular Chrome Hearts pants / bottoms. So some details to look out for. Chrome Hearts is extremely meticulous when it comes to their crosses. Their crosses are very high, well, when we're talking about the leather crosses, they're high quality leather, but more importantly, make sure there's no inconsistencies with the stitching on the crosses. It should be all it's clean, it's symmetrical, no loose threads, that's a big one. And here's one for reference. This is how it will look like used and over time. And another point to show you guys is the tags. So with these newer Chrome tags, something to look out for that's kind of the same for a lot of their clothes, because between accessories and clothing, Chrome tends to use a lot of the same tags. So make sure the font, there's no misspelling, it's easily legible by that. The font itself is relatively thick. So when you look at a tag and you feel like the print might be too thin, reference other photos online of real tags. I would use a platform, maybe Grailed, and search up listings that are brand new, several listings, cross-reference, and make sure that, okay, the thickness of the print on the tag matches up for the most part. Make sure there's no spelling errors. Sometimes rep makers will fail to do quality control when it comes to the different languages on the tags. So you see on the front, we have English. On the back side of a second tag, you'll see Japanese, Korean, Chinese, so forth. Obviously, we can't all read all the languages, but if you can, ups to you, but make sure to try to do your due diligence and do grammar / spell checking on the tags to make sure that everything's consistent and a-okay. Now, for items that have this tag with the barcode, this is the most important thing. So let's say you come across someone selling a bundle of items and they all happen to have the same serial number right here underneath the barcode. Immediate red flag. Each and every single one of Chrome Hearts products that have a serial number, it should be unique because it is, in essence, a unique product identifier. Now, here's a little trick for a lot of people don't know. There's a special silver thread that goes through, on top of the barcode, you'll see there's a dotted line, and through that dotted line, there is a small security thread that's interwoven between the actual label. If you look into the thread really close with like a magnifying glass, you can actually see there's branding on that security thread. There is Chrome Hearts branding. It's pretty neat, and something rep makers also do not do, at least just yet. So now let's look onto another detail of Chrome Hearts hats that are generally pretty prevalent. Let's look at the top of the lid. There's usually a sterling silver button up here. So if you look on the top, make sure, even if it's brand new, used or whatever, that when you look at the little lines, little details, that it's clearly defined. That being, you can tell, okay, when you look at this cross right here, this plus right here, these little striations, they're easy to see. It's detailed, and more often than not, there's tarnishing in between the lines, even straight out the gate of the factory. They use a special oxidization agent to make brand new silver look well used. But this is a used one for your reference. But yeah, big things, small details. If there's patches, make sure you quality control the patches and make sure to ensure that there's no inconsistencies that might throw you off. Always refer to other photos of brand new products online that are deemed authentic to help make your purchase decision before actually pulling the trigger, right? And then of course, the tags. The tags are a big one. No matter what brand of clothing you're buying into, tags will usually be the most important thing you can cross-reference to make sure that what you're buying next for your rotation is a-okay. All right, next up, I want to talk to you guys about accessories such as earrings. They were silver. A detail about Chrome Hearts earrings in particular. So this right here is called the JoJo Drop 3 Charm earring. And a big detail, a lot of fake earrings I've noticed that they miss is that when you look at the stem right here, make sure it's 14 karat gold. In fact, if you look at the stem really close, it might be hard to catch on camera, but there is a 14K stamp that you should be aware of. This is because I imagine that more often than not, silver, especially when you're getting a new piercing, you know, silver may be more liable to infect your earring or the piercing hole as opposed to gold. So there's that. And again, with the silver button on the hat, make sure all the details are very clearly inscribed. All little lines in between the crosses, make sure that there's tarnishing, and of course, a big thing is weight. So sterling silver, even for an item as small as this earring, it tends to have weight. So if it feels a little off, a little bit too light, you might want to, again, cross-reference online. There are tons of forums available to where people can check, okay, an item from Chrome Hearts, let's say for instance, a forever ring X, Y, or Z, should weigh between this much and this much grams. If it's significantly under, more likely than not, it is a rep. So that's a JoJo drop earring. And here is this is a 6mm forever spacer. And something that you guys should know, especially if you're in a market for forever spacer rings, is that some of the details, in particular the amount of pluses, it may vary depending on what size you get. I know through certain size ranges, they might use a different style for different amounts of pluses. And that's just something to be aware of. That doesn't necessarily mean that something is fake, just because it may look different from one size to another. And again, with the engravings and the stamps, make sure everything is clear, legible, very deeply indented, and that there's no misspelling, and that each letter in particular looks like that letter. Sometimes you might see an H that looks like an R. That is a red flag and something to keep in mind as well. So here is the 6mm Chrome Hearts Forever ring. And this is the Boy Scout Fleur pendant. So here there's small engravings on the bezel. Make sure, again, the engravings here are a little bit lighter since it is such a small bezel, but make sure that each and every letter on here is, again, legible, easy to read, and that there's no inconsistencies with spelling or spacing. Spacing is a big one too. If you're looking at a Chrome Hearts silver product and you see the C and H spacing is a little bit too big, wide apart in comparison to like where the H and the R might be, that is also another red flag you should look out for. And again, You can see all the details in between the lines and everything are clearly defined, especially with tarnishing. This here is a Chrome Hearts Tiny E bracelet. So same as what I've told you about the other accessories, make sure the details are clear, the engravings are clear, easy to read, there's no spacing issues, and weight. Check it out. I actually really love this piece. It used to be so much easier to get at the Chrome store, but it's a very hot item as of late, so they're really difficult to source. And something I want to share for you guys too. Here's a fun little fact that a lot of people don't necessarily know about the date. Some people ask, what does the date on a Chrome Hearts product mean? Because most of their accessories have a year inscribed onto them. That year does not necessarily mean the year that the product was manufactured, but rather it is the year that denotes when the product was designed. And typically, from what I've noticed, it's between 1 to 2 years after that design date is when the product goes available to market. So for instance, if you see 2021 on a ring, more likely than not, you'd find it as a brand new arrival in a Chrome Hearts showroom between 2022 or 2023. Now, this right here is one of my personal favorite pieces. This is a double ID fancy link ID bracelet. ID bracelets are typically characterized by this big block right here. So there's one ID, here's another ID, one with the floral motif, another with the dagger. And I'm showing you this because when we get down to Chrome Hearts items that have a set gem/stone, you'll see a lot of items have aftermarket gem/stones that are placed onto them by a jeweler, outsourced from wherever. Something, you might have someone trying to sell you an aftermarket diamond bracelet, but they may not inform you, and you probably won't know until after the fact. But when Chrome Hearts does their gem setting, they do it in-house and they do it their way. So when you see gems on a product, you gotta make sure that they align and the setting is similar to what you might find cross-reference with other items online that are similar. When you look, there's no inconsistencies between the setting of each gem. It's very uniform, it's very clean. There's no prongs that are out of place from when they set the gem. So this is for your reference. This is the the dagger ID with the diamond gem setting. And on the other end, we have the floral ID with the diamond gem setting. And these links right here that are embellished, these are called fancy links. So these are alternating between fancy and standard Cuban links. Again, weight. These ID bracelets are pretty heavy. So if you find one that doesn't feel heavy at all, and if it's your first time putting it on, like after a few hours, you might actually feel some wear and tear and strain in your wrist, that is a red flag. These things are definitely very weighty. All right, so those are just some accessories I want to show you guys. Now let's move on to clothes. So by the way, you're gonna see me, I might look a little bit different in the second half of the video when we get to pants, because we actually had to completely re-record this first half of the video because it just somehow disappeared. Hate to see it. Well, anyways, here we go, on to clothes. All right, so now we're moving on to clothes. And this is gonna be pretty fast because for the most part, you're just gonna look at one thing, tags. So whether it's boxers, briefs, shorts, hoodies, t-shirts, so far, so forth, for the most part, you can just refer to the tags. They're more or less very same, if not identical. So for instance, I'm gonna show you guys some Chrome Hearts briefs. Take the same things I told you about the silver. Boom. Refer, make sure it has all the details, that nothing looks too polished unless someone actually polished it. But if it's a brand new item that's overly polished, that's not a good sign. Because like I said, out the gate, they come oxidized. And there should be tarnishing between the lines. And when you look at the tags, wow, they look pretty similar, all right? Boom, 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 boom. The only thing this doesn't have, not all products will have it, is the security tag. But still, this should give you sufficient, I guess, stuff to work with to authenticate. Here you are. Embroidery, no loose stitching. That's a big thing for chrome. Very rare to see loose stitching. And then we can move on. So that's briefs. We got shorts. These are shorts. Peep the leather plus patch right here. Silver daggers right here. These are the key signs you would use for authenticating an item like this, or at least what I would look at. And then of course, this is a special tag for their more premium products tend to have the leather tag. Something to keep in mind. And this has been used and washed, so, but even then, make sure that the stamp on the leather tag is fully legible. There's no misspelling. Again, spacing between the letters, even. And then, let's see. With that said, you'll still find, boom, wash tags. Pretty similar to what I showed you guys before. Boom, boom, size, and security tag with barcode, serial number, security thread, so far, so forth. And again, even when it's used, the embroidery on the back, no loose stitching, as well as the one on the front. All right, moving on. T-shirts. I like this one. It reminds me of Trader Joe's. This is the Hawaii exclusive Hawaii exclusive, Honolulu exclusive souvenir t-shirt for, as you are aware, most likely, Chrome Hearts has stores all over the world, and in select stores in certain cities, they'll have city exclusive souvenir tees. That's not just a horseshoe with the city on it. So, reminds me of Trader Joe's. Pretty cool. Fun fact, there's no Trader Joe's in Honolulu. What? Why? Anyways, boom. So with tees and tops, you'll have a printed tag right here by the neck. Same rules apply with spacing between the letters, making sure none of the other letters look like another letter, if that makes sense. Like no H looks like an R. But more important than that, wash tags. So for items like this, instead of a more rubbery tag, you'll have the more silky looking tag. That's fine. If you look, there will still be the security tag with the barcode, serial number, stitching, so far, so forth. Front and back. Cool. Let's move on. Now we have hoodies. So with hoodies, I'm going to show you different generations of hoodies. This is a newer one. Los Angeles exclusive. This is a newer one. Las Vegas exclusive with the print by the neck tag, or where the neck tag should be. There's a neck print with the size, the horseshoe, and the plus. And of course, we move on. Silky tags, silky wash tags. Ooh, very nice. They feel good in your hands. Boom, boom. Boom, and boom. Again, same principles apply as what I told you before. Legibility, deep prints, no grammar or spelling issues. But more importantly, security thread and the serial number. Check it out. Here's an interesting item. Now we're going to the 90s. A little blast to the past, so to speak. This right here is a 1990s chrome heart zip-up hoodie with a blank that they no longer use, which I don't understand why. I love this. So this is a thermal hoodie. It's very plush, it's super heavy, feels like quality. And look how well it stood up over time. So with this, again, reference the silver dagger, zipper pull here. Chrome Arts zip-up hoodies tend to have dagger pulls for the most part. But then you're gonna notice, wow, there's no neck print here. That's different. Don't be scared. It's okay. So this is what a vintage 90s chrome tag will look like. You have a horseshoe with a plus. There you go. Sometimes there'll be a wash tag on the back. They move it around. It's okay. Don't be afraid. So again, no spelling errors. It's clearly legible. No letters look like other letters. So far, so forth. And let's look here. Even back then, for a lot of products, they still had this iconic tag with the security thread, barcode, and serial number. This is what a vintage wash tag looks like. Boom, boom. So back then they used to use Chill Buster blanks for their hoodies. I wish it still did. Vintage fade over time is really nice too. And within the same era, let me show you guys, a crewneck sweater. Same era, same tags, but on the back side of this tag you see a size tag, says large, wash instructions, and that's it. Is there anything else in here? No. So you'll notice this item doesn't have the security tag. That's okay. Back then, even now, not every single item will have it. But you make do with what you have for authentication purposes, right? Having that security thread is always a plus though, if it's already on there. Now getting into the more premium lines of clothing, this is a 100% cashmere zip up. You'll notice it still has a dagger zipper pull, but on top of that, it's double zippered. So then here we have a plus, little plus ball right here. So different zipper pull, same rules apply as when you're checking silver. Embroidery, not a single loose stitch. Boom, boom. And here is what the tags look like for these. Full leather, and the size is right here. Check it out. Easily legible, firmly printed, and more important than that, when you look here, you got the papery tag. It's not a silky tag, but this is a papery tag where you can see it's clearly printed, legible, no spell issues. So far, so forth. Okay. So, now that I've repeated myself probably a million times now, I hope it got through your head as to what to look out for when looking at chrome clothing, particularly in secondhand. And I wanted to show you guys different types of Chrome Hearts pants, and also, well, how to properly legit check if you're in the market to pick up a pair for yourself, someone you know. So let's start off with these. So these are Chrome Hearts chino pants. I'm a huge fan of their chinos in particular. These are the wax pair. And here you got the scroll logo banner. Notice the letters are engraved thick, fully. You have details with the oxidation on the side of the scroll banner. It's not cheaply done, and same with the leather accents here by the pockets. When you look on the fronts, notice, so there's the Chrome Hearts lining. You got the logo on the back side here. Size tag. and the buttons. A key indicator for, especially for pants, that I've noticed is that for here, the top button, it needs to be detailed in a sense. Look how sharp these lines are at the end of each of the lines. When you look at reps, oftentimes they don't have the small oxidation or the details and the curvature of the lines that you'll see in authentic CH denim. Next, the other buttons are hidden through a placket, and if you notice, they are all facing the same way. So here we have the horseshoe motif of a plus in the middle. The letters are engraved very full, easily legible, and all of the buttons are facing downwards, or at least the horseshoe is facing downwards. Sometimes you see pants where one of the buttons flipped upside down. That's not the best sign. For the pockets for the chinos, check this out. So there's a button here that allows you to easily access your pocket when you're sitting down, as well as a loop for a wallet chain. Very key. Make sure when you're looking at watch tags, there's no spelling mistakes. That's a dead giveaway for reps, whether it's Chrome Hearts or any other brand, designer label. Oftentimes rep makers will not go through the trouble of correctly spell checking. Next up, I want to show you guys denim, or just some proper slim denim pants from Chrome Hearts. These are a vintage pair. In contrary to what I just showed you guys, is a little more recent, as in like a few years ago. These are vintage by definition, and you'll notice that when it comes to everything I showed you guys with the hardware and the chinos, it will remain the same. See, you got the same topmost button, and then you look at the hidden horseshoe buttons, all the same. The size tag and the leather tag right here, still very similar, although just much worn down over time. You also have the Chrome Hearts branding on the waist right here, as with the chinos. Horseshoe rivets. Now with the rivets, again, make sure each letter is legible. Like, even though it's a small piece of hardware, you can still clearly read each and every single letter, and it's pretty full. By that meaning, it doesn't feel light, and when you put your finger over it, like, you can clearly feel that, well, each letter is there. On the back side, same thing with the scroll banner. Easily legible. Letters are oxidized, and then you see the details on the side of the scroll banner. When you look at reps, sometimes there will be no oxidation at all. It's purely stainless steel, or it'll look like that. That's not a good sign. So since this is an older pair of chrome denim, the tag looks slightly different. So you have the horseshoe logo in front. Now you have the proper wash tag instructions right here. And then the size tag. JVP, that refers to the style of these pants, the JVP Slims. Moving on, I want to show you guys Chrome Hearts opticals, aka glasses, frames, whatever you want to call them. We have right here, this is a model called the Titris. And one little design detail with all Chrome Hearts glasses is they will only close properly one specific way. So you notice how here, it's closed properly. But if you do it the other direction, there will be an angle. You can't close it. That's a very signature CH design detail that is integrated with their optical glasses. So you do it the other way, boom, it closes. So it's a fun little trick, or rather a little thing to notice if you're in the market for secondhand glasses from CH. Make sure it does that. And furthermore, all the points I've told you guys about engraving, all the small details, looking at they all apply to the glasses as well. So these in particular are their wooden legged and gold plated glasses, made in Japan. There's small little details such as the print on the legs itself that have the Chrome Hearts branding, serial number, and or style code. If it's not on one leg, it's on the other. Even on the nose bridge, you have the Chrome Hearts horseshoe. And for these ones, on the very top, they'll say CHFU. Clear and easily legible. They're quite heavy as well, so make sure your CH glasses, especially if there's metal, that they're weighty and they don't feel flimsy. Like these feel very durable, sturdy, and that tends to be the case with CH frames. Not even just those, we have another pair. These are called the Vertical Smile 2s. See, they have its mix of acetates and metal. Weighty, doesn't feel flimsy. And these also have Chrome Hearts on the top. All right guys, so that's it for now. Please leave in the comments if you guys want me to cover another item, for either Chrome Hearts or another brand that we happen to carry that you want to learn a bit more about. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. Peace.